you know.
That's the excuse I use too.
Yeah. Sean, I don't think I could pull off that look, though.
Okay, it's 11 o'clock, so at this time, we would like to call the Board of Zoning and Appeals meeting to order. We welcome our guests here today. First item will be the minutes from our last meeting. Has everyone had the chance? Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes? Do we have a motion to approve as written?
So
This
moved.
reading, okay. Have a motion
Second.
and a second. Shelby, okay. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay. We'll move right into the next item, and that is a special exception for storage facilities, and this is at 1102 Bridge Street. I think you should be familiar with this. We've talked about it before. Sean, you want to tell us a little bit before Philip presents it, or you want him to go first?
You can go first.
So I'm Philip Smith, and I'm here requesting a special exception for the potential to do storage units over on Bridge Street. So I guess several months ago, we contracted with the owner of the old shoe store and to purchase it and probably more likely tear it down. And so I had come at that point in time to talk about possibly putting up a building for auto repair, auto work, you know, that kind of thing. Well, since then, I have purchased the old B&R heating and air building, and so with them sitting right next to each other, the building's in good shape, structurally, electrical, plumbing, roof, everything's in good shape. So we started talking about the idea of doing a small storage development just due to the fact that the main cost of the storage development are already in place. And it's got the loading dock and everything. So really what I wanted to do was just get an exception for the potential to do storage if we needed it, or if we decided to do it. That area of town only has one development within like about a mile and a quarter. The rest of the developments are in town and going towards Smithville or out on 70S, going towards Centertown. So again, you know, this is a good spot. The visibility is just remarkable. I mean, cars go through there every day. It's zone C2, and so we just want to keep our options open. I don't want to be too narrow-minded. We want to do what makes sense and what works and what best benefits the residents and the city, which at this point would be tearing one of the buildings down and redoing the other one. But anyways, that's basically it.
And this is zone C2?
Yes.
Okay.
The idea, I mean, down the road, once we get the shoe store purchased, there's an issue with title work. There was a will that had to be probated, and so that's in the process, but it's working through. I don't anticipate any issue with being able to close that. The financings are in place for all that, so, you know, we're ready to go once the will, the legal part gets over with. But the idea would be potentially combining the lots together and having a nice C2 lot. So, again, I'm just trying to keep my
That would be
options open.
nice. Okay, board members, do you have any questions for Philip on this?
When you say storage units, are you talking like the metal little units or?
It would be all climate controlled. It would be interior, it wouldn't be any of the metal exterior or non-climate controlled building. It would be 100% climate. And it would also be the smaller units. So like in the B&R building, we worked out a unit mix where we could have 42 units in that building. It would be your 5x10s, your 5x8s, 5x5s. So it would be smaller units there to kind of test the water to see if this is going to work. If it does work, then we would have room next door to add on 10x10s, you know, maybe some 10x15s. We also have room in the back because we met with MES last week. They have a pole that is in the back and it's been there since the 70s. So we have power on the building right now, but what Jonathan and Neil want to do is put a new pole in the state's right of way on the front of the property, and that way we can run power to both buildings. It would be a lot safer because the transformer is, I think they said, 300 feet away from that pole. So in storms and stuff, they have to keep everything clean back there, which they haven't done in a while. So when storms come up, they're like holding their breath, hoping power doesn't go out because there's such a long strand. So we have an opportunity to really improve the electrical services there, putting a new pole off of what's now Virtual Highway in the state's right of way. And so Jonathan's already made contact with the state about that.
Would you be able to go underground, or we have to go overhead there?
Go underground.
Got to
Yep.
go.
Yep. We just want to keep all the, we'll try to mitigate risk any way we possibly can, people coming in with trucks and everything. And if power lines are above ground, it's just, I don't know. And plus, it just looks better. I mean, that area where the shoe store and B&R is, taking down the trees, we've already done that. We've already done a little bit of drive-it work to spruce up the front of that building. We're going to paint it, new garage door, and we demoed the inside, so it's a strong, solid block building. But the visibility is amazing, so whatever we do there, I think it'll be, once we get everything in place, I think it'll be very attractive for somebody, because you're getting anywhere from 5,500 to 6,000 cars a day going through there. I had no idea until we looked at TDOT.
Do we have any more questions? Sean, you want to comment on that?
Yeah, so for this one, this is kind of combined. We got two special exceptions, the 1114 and the 1102, just because they're currently separate properties. So the 1102 does have an existing building which would be demolished with the possibility of basically combining those lots and extending 1114. With that, as long as the height requirements are met, everything else is met on that. That would just be new buildings. So storage facilities does have a limit of 24 feet maximum height for those type of facilities. That's one of the conditions in the zoning code. The 1114 Bridge Street, we would not measure this by 22 feet off the ground. So it would just, if he extends that to roof line, everything would match. So there'd be no concerns with that not being able to meet all the conditions. And the parking would be in front, it would be interior access to the lot, so there's no lane concerns on that 26 or 30-foot lane that would normally be with the metal storage buildings, where you got that in between for through traffic. This would park up front, they would access through, so.
Yeah. And there's also, I don't know if we want to talk about this or not, but I might as well, where the old road was left off when they made the new road, there's actually quite a bit of room there where the
Yeah.
state owns a sliver of road that they.
Just a dead area.
Just a dead area. It all dead ends right there at B&R, so I'm talking to TDOT now, who knows when this will happen, but I'm talking to TDOT about saying, hey, let's work out a price, and they give me that whole area up to the sidewalk. So in the interim, I'm probably going to plant some landscaping and see if I can get somebody's attention. So
Good luck. Really, you shouldn't have to pay for it, because it's worthless to them, but, who knows, like you said. Okay. We'll consider these one at a time, since they are two different address for the location. What's the desire of the board?
I make a motion to approve the special exception based on all the conditions and standards being met.
Okay, we have a motion.
Second.
Second. Okay, any more discussion? Call for the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay. Then we'll move right into the next one, which is right next door, and it's a similar situation, so.
Yeah, it's very
It's
similar.
just-
Again, this
and
is,
hopefully-
the lot's a little bit narrower than the 1102, but still meets all the requirements. It to be an indoor facility. They still meet that 26 parking be front. It's already got a loading dock there. Building height is well within that 24 feet. So staff would recommend approval.
Okay. I'm sure y'all are all familiar with this. It'll certainly be an improvement. Any more discussion?
I don't know if y'all have driven out there lately, but I mean, we, just cutting down the 3 trees that were destroying the retaining wall made a big difference. But we've also got it, the guy does a bunch of stucco and drive it, and he's kind of put a little cap on the front to make it stand out a little bit. We've cleaned up, around the building as what we can. But a lot of the work on the inside is complete demo. Solid walls, HVAC system, roof system has a leak in one space, but it's metal. So, the idea behind the mini storage for this building was, okay, we don't really have a whole lot of money tied up in it. If it's not going to be very successful, if we can't make it work, then we'll just retool. Because I figure once I dress up the outside, somebody might call and be like, hey, I'd like to run a business out of here or
Sure.
whatever. So,
It's very visible, so you never know.
And so
Yeah.
for the acquisition cost, I mean, it would be, if I mess this up, y'all won't see me ever again.
Okay.
I make a motion to approve the request for special exception based on all the conditions and standards being met.
Okay. We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Okay. Do we have any discussion? Okay, we call for the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Philip.
Thanks for-
Did 1102 used to be like two separate buildings that someone built in? If you've been in there, is that what that is? Just looking at it?
I think so. I went in it once and it was scary enough where I couldn't go back.
What's up, the end of Betty McGee's? It's the,
Betty McGee's?
Yeah, she's on that for, since I was a kid. She's had a shoe store inside it, so,
It's wild looking.
yeah. It's always been a shoe store as long as I can remember.
Looks homemade, looks like a good homemade building.
Okay, Sean, do we have any staff updates?
I do not have any today.
Well, do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
A motion and a second by Jim. Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thank y'all.